Welcome to another Warframe tip of the day. Today I'll be showing you a complete plant farming guide. If there's a plant in particular you're looking for, check out the chapters in the description. You can link over to that plant guide for easier access. Let's go over required gear. Before you go plant farming, you will need a scanner. You will be scanning the plant to receive its data to apply to your foundry for a blueprint requiring it, or your codex. Your first available scanner is called a codex scanner. You can get it in the market, equipment, and gear. The Codex scanner has 25 scans for 500 credits. After you buy the scanner, head into your arsenal and gear. Add the Codex scanner to your gear wheel. I added to one of the first options for easier access when you get into the mission. The next scanner you can use is the Synthesis scanner. This scanner can be purchased from Cephalon Samaras in any available relay. Head into Cephalon's room and check out his offerings. Synthesis scanners are sold at 25 scans for 5,000 credits, a little more expensive than buying Codex scans. The difference between Codex and Synthesis scanner is that a Synthesis scan will give you Cephalon standings per scan, as a Codex scanner does not. When you get accumulated Cephalon standings, you can purchase scanner gear. For example, you can purchase the Soul Battery widget, which gives you unlimited scans instead of buying more, or the Cross Matrix widget. When bought, you gain an extra scan. Check out the different options Cephalon has available in his store. And remember, these widgets are only available for Synthesis scanner, not the Codex scanner. There are also companions you can bring with you to help you scan. You can use the Oxylus companion combined with the mod Botanist. The Oxylus blueprint is bought from the business in Fortuna for 20,000 standings. The Botanist mod is bought from Cephalon Samaras for 75,000 standings. The Botanist mod uses the Synthesis scanner and can be combined with the Soul Battery widget. Just make sure you don't have the Codex scanner and the Synthesis scanner equipped at the same time. Otherwise, the Soul Battery widget will not work with the Synthesis scanner because the Codex scanner prioritizes over the Synthesis scanner. When the Oxylus scans for you, it does not provide Cephalon standings, just scans. You gain Cephalon standings if you scan manually. The next available companion to use is Helios. This companion has a built-in Codex scanner that consumes the Codex scanner charges that you have bought. It will scan any plant life. The catch is, it stops scanning after your Codex entry is complete for that object. The Helios blueprint can be bought from the Energy Lab in your clan dojo. A Prime Helios is also available to acquire through cracking open the right relics. Helios is good to use if you have not scanned any plants yet. It will scan the plants for you without you having to search for it, just like having the Oxylus, except the difference now is Helios has a gun. When you get into a mission, take out your scanner, either Codex or Synthesis scanner. We will be using these as X-ray goggles. You can use a scanner to see the plants easier. The plants will highlight or illuminate. They also highlight through the environment, such as trees and rocks. When you get close to the plant, you can either scan it manually or let your companion scan it. I bring a companion in case I miss seeing a plant, but the companion will manage to scan it for me anyways. But I like to scan manually for the Cephalon standings. Keep that in mind. Some plants only spawn during Earth's day and night cycle. You will notice if you highlight over Cetus or the plains of Eidolon, you will see a day or night cycle displayed with a timer. Do not follow this timer. I repeat, do not follow this timer. Earth cycle is a separate entity of its own and it is not visually seen. There are two ways to figure out the cycle. You can jump on an Earth mission with a Grenier Forest tile set, such as E Prime on Earth or Mantle on Earth, and check out what timer it is on, such as looking at the plants and seeing if it says sunlight or moonlight. Sunlight as in day, moonlight as in night. Or luckily, there are third-party websites you can visit to check out the current cycle. This is my favorite and most easiest method. One example is using the Warframe Hub. This website will list everything you need to know that has a timer, including Earth's cycle. A link will be in the description. Let's talk about what Warframe to bring. I suggest a Warframe that can go invisible. Invisibility helps by not having the hassle of dealing with enemies while you search the map for these plants. I suggest bringing the Warframe Loki or Ivera. Loki has an ability called invisibility that has him become invisible to enemies, and also his sound is muffled. You can install his augmented mod Hushed Invisibility for reducing weapon noise also. His invisibility ability is built around duration. The only downfall of his invisibility is that his vision becomes a little discolored, which makes finding the plants a little bit harder, but not too hard. And Loki being fast while invisible helps tremendously with farming, as opposed to using Ivera. Ivera has an ability called Prowl. Prowl also renders her invisible to enemies, but with additional perks. One perk in particular, when invisible she can pickpocket enemies, which gives them a chance to drop loot. Higher drop chances depends on how much ability strength is given. Keep that in mind when modding her. The pickpocket method is good to use to gain more energy if the enemy happens to drop an energy orb. For plant farming, you're already going to be invisible running around the map, so you might as well pickpocket the enemies on its way. Prowl is consumed by an energy drain instead of Loki's duration timer. Prowl will need to be built around efficiency with flow tossed in there. Ivera's downfall to Prowl is her invisibility cloak can break when using certain maneuvers, such as sprinting or bullet jumping, which is like muscle memory to Warframe, so keep that in mind when using Prowl, as opposed to Loki, where you can do whatever you want and he doesn't break his invisibility. If you want to make Prowl more efficient and technical, you can have fun by using your operator's Void Sling to jump across the map and still be invisible when your operator meets back with your Warframe. Since you can't sprint using Prowl, Void Sling is a good option to get across the map faster. Now that we got our basic loadout, let's talk about where to get the plants. Throughout this guide, I will be covering each plant individually and separated into chapters, which will be listed in the description. You can pause and come back to this guide later by checking out the chapters. I will be showing you where to get Dusklight Sarracenia, Sunlight and Moonlight Dragonlily, Frostleaf, Sunlight and Moonlight Jadeleaf, Lunar Pitchers, and Vestan Moss. Let's check out Dusklight Sarracenias. This plant will only spawn on Grineer Shipyard tile sets that have toxic swamps within the map. There are only a couple swamp spawns per mission, making this an easy farm. Instead of searching the entire map for this single stemmed flower, just search for the swamp. When you find a swamp, you will find the plant. So let's head over to Charon Series. This is a low-level sabotage mission. I suggest this mission because one swamp in particular spawns in the same spot every time you replay this mission. When you get into the mission, head straight for the sabotage objective. Complete the objective, but do not extract. Instead, look down from the sabotage platform you're standing on. You will see a giant swamp area below. Jump down into the swamp. When you reach the ground floor, take out your scanner and use them as your plant finder goggles discussed earlier in this segment. Dustlight will spawn on the edge of the swamps. With this area being dark, the scanner goggles will help tremendously for finding them. The X-ray portion of the goggles will find plants through the rocks in this area. When you're done searching the swamp, head to extraction to claim your rewards. Next, let's find Sunlight Dragonlilies and Moonlight Dragonlilies. Both Dragonlilies are found on Grineer Forest tile sets, which narrows it down to Earth. Sunlight Dragonlilies are found during Earth's daytime cycle, and Moonlight Dragonlilies are found during Earth's nighttime cycle. An explanation on cycles is linked in the description below. Let's head over to Mantle on Earth. This is a low-level capture mission. When the target is captured, you get unlimited time to explore the map. When you enter the mission, I suggest immediately go invisible, if applicable. Then take out your scanner. You can use your scanner to look through objects and will highlight the plant. Check out the scanner guide mentioned earlier in this video. A link is in the description. If you can't find the plant, do not get discouraged. The plant doesn't spawn in any place in particular. It can be completely random, and the spawn rate is as low as 1 to 3 per mission, or even 0. Search thoroughly, such as side trails, underneath stairs, and inside holes. When you complete the map, extract to claim your reward. Let's find Sunlight Jadeleaf and Moonlight Jadeleaf. Both Jadeleafs can be found on Grenier Forest tile sets, which narrows it down to Earth. Sunlight Jadeleaf spawn during Earth's daytime cycle. Moonlight Jadeleaf spawn during Earth's nighttime cycle. Check out the section covering Earth's daytime and night cycles discussed earlier in the segment. A link is in the description. Let's head over to Manto on Earth. This is a low-level capture mission in a Grenier Forest tile set. The Jadeleafs normally, but not always, spawn near grassy or water areas. This farm is a bit difficult. This plant can spawn anywhere on the map, and not that many will spawn. Expect to find 1 to 3 per mission, or even 0. Make sure to use your scanner as your X-ray plant finder. There are many obstacles throughout the map, such as trees, so having the ability to see through them helps tremendously. Don't forget to capture your target, but once you do, you will have the whole map to search without a timer. You may have to repeat this mission several times to get the amount of Jadeleafs you need, and if you're going for both types of Jadeleafs, you will need to repeat this mission in both cycles. This task can be a long and tedious process. I suggest planning ahead and schedule in the cycles to your daily life. Each cycle lasts 4 hours, so clear your schedule and plan ahead when you're ready to farm for Jadeleafs. The same suggestion goes to farming for Dragonlilies also. A Dragonlily are also daytime and nighttime plants, so plan accordingly. Let's check out where to find Frostleaf. Frostleaf is found on any Corpus tile set in an outside environment and along cliff sides. Let's head to Venera on Venus. This is a low-level Corpus capture mission. On your way to the capture target, make sure to keep note of any outside environment you pass along your way. When you find that you are outside, look for any cliffs. The Frostleaf will look green on top of white snow. If you see one, you will most likely see more. Take note that Frostleaf can be bugged and will not spawn at all. Just reload the mission. There's a spawn room in particular that will not spawn Frostleaf if you start the mission in this room. The room will have lockers with 3 exits. When you get into this room, just restart the mission and hopefully you will get into a different spawn room. Any other spawn room will spawn Frostleaf. The next plant we will be gathering is Lunar Pitchers. Lunar Pitchers are found on Lua. Depending on where you're at in your star chart, Lua may not be unlocked yet, but must be unlocked to get Lunar Pitchers, unfortunately. Head over to Copper Nictus on Lua. The enemies here are a little bit tougher at level 25 to 30, but if you're using an invisible Warframe, it doesn't matter. Check out the loadout section of this video discussed earlier to get more insight on which Warframes to bring. Link is in the description. When you get into the map, keep in mind Lunar Pitchers grow on dirt and inside planters. This plant is very small and is hard to see. I recommend taking out your scanner and your X-ray plant finder goggles to be able to spot the plant. Check out the scanner section of this video discussed earlier. A link will be in the description. Since we will be inside, you can use the scanner to see the plants through the walls and doors. A lot of times they are in end rooms, full of lockers, or along the walls and hallways. Make sure to scan any planter you see in case a pitcher is inside. Capture the target and extract to claim your reward. Last plant to look for is Vestan Moss. This moss grows on Grenier asteroid tile sets. Head to M' on Mercury. This is a low-level extermination mission. Extermination is a great mission to use because the map is normally larger and the enemies will guide you to undiscovered locations within the map. When you get into the map, you'll be looking for dirt and rocks. Vestan Moss will spawn on dirt and rocks and is very hard to see. Here I suggest using your scanner to highlight the moss. When highlighted by your scanner, the moss will look like a lighted up patch on the ground. Look high and in low areas where there are dirt. When you complete the mission, extract to claim your reward. And there you have it, another Warframe tip of the day. Tell me in the comments below how your plant scanning went, and if this tip helped you, hit that like and thanks button. Subscribe for more Warframe tips, and I'll see you next time for another tip of the day.